Shalom, shalom, one and all. I'd like to welcome you back to Rooted in Hebrew. Shalom, Sister Linda Cross. Shalom, shalom. Oh, hold on. I'd like to welcome you back to Rooted in Hebrew. Shalom, Sister Linda Cross. Oh, I'm back. We had yesterday, and it's pretty much the same title. I just took out "It Is," but clear and present danger. To just hop into it and seeing what Israel, brothers and sisters. One thing we do have in common, and one thing we do know, is that we were taught a lie for hundreds of years. That's one thing we do know. We know that there was this is a time of renewing, of resetting your minds, resetting your hearts, because we do know that we was taught a lie. There's Christmas. What else? Easter. All of this stuff we have been taught, whether it's Christianity or it was Islamic. We was taught a lie. When Yahushua said he came to cause a division, and we all know that if you been taught a lie for forever, what happens? People tends to believe the lie, and you can have evidence that prove that this here is a lie. You have evidence, but the fact that Shalom, Sister Monica, you have proof. You have proof that it is a lie. But do you know people still have a hard time of accepting the truth, but hold on to the lie? Did not the Most High say, I'll let them believe the lie? The reason why I say that, brothers and sisters, is because even within us, Israel, and the sad thing about this is that our struggle is going to be letting go of religion. We may say we may say that we Hebrew, but there is an understanding that we need to have in order for us to be truthfully rooted in Hebrew. And that truth is, you guys to be willing to strip yourself naked down to the bone and letting go of all the false teachings and teaching that may have had you asking questions. When it's all over said and done, that's what it's going to boil down to. Did not Yahuwah say he's looking for those to worship him in spirit and in truth? That's what he said. Now, granted, I'm not going to say, let me see. My line of thinking is this way, and your line of thinking may be that way. But the scriptures did admonish this. He said, you correct one who may be wrong. And even if he did not understand what you were saying or what you was trying to get through, the scriptures clearly states, but keep on admonishing him as a brother. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. Who is that? Paul and Barnabas? Barnabas that had the heated discussion. So they parted ways, but they were still brothers. They were still brothers. My point of saying it is this, is that we, instead of getting, we getting upset about some things. I just seen Truth Unedited, a portion of it this morning. I watched him. I watched some of it. I watched him last night about the Trinity. Now, me personally, let's hold on for a moment. Ooh, excuse me. Me personally, I never believed in the Trinity. I didn't, and still do not. So yes, what he says, it resonates with me, but not with everyone. Not with everyone. And so that's the beauty of it. I mean, I ain't gonna say it's the beauty of it. Let me take that back. Some people disagree with him. Even some Hebrews. You have Hebrews out there to believe in the Trinity. There was another brother. I forgot the name of his channel, but he has some good information. He does. He does. He said something I didn't agree with, and he was talking about the immaculate, birth. And when he got through, because at first it was kind of, I ain't gonna say long-winded, but then he got to it and said, Joseph is the father of Yahusha. I don't agree with that. So, well, but I still got the brother on my channel because I know overall, outside of that, no, we can talk. We have a basis. We have a concrete ground that we can build on. That's what I do know. The thing is, if we're going to have, if a brother or sister come to you, and you may have a different take on things, a sensible, civil conversation could be had. And if you want to bring it to the community, talk with your brother. Did not the scripture say, leave your gift at the door and go make peace with your brother? But the way we'll go about doing peace, brothers, no, that's not the way. This is not the way. We'll get up on there and call you. I will call you a lie, or somebody may call you a lie. Which sounds better? To call you a lie? Well, brother, I don't agree with that. To say you do not agree with that is a whole lot more peaceful. But when things get heated, I seen brothers curse one another out. Shalom, Sister Van P. I seen brothers curse one another out, call them all types of this and that. But you're talking about a spiritual thing, a spiritual situation, and you all of a sudden you get highly emotional. What's going on, Tim? Alrighty. That's what we do. That's the thing, brothers. And I'm gonna give you a different take on what others do. Now we do know that you have Christian Muslims out there, and you have Islamic Muslims out there. It's across the board. Every Indian is not Muslim or Islamic. You have something that's Christian. But one thing they do, brothers, they work together. All right. And they may, um, well, you know, they work together while they have two different understandings of their faith. They work together. The question is, why is it that we cannot work together? The thing about us that's different, the thing that is different about us, we do have a base. We have a base. We have a base that we know who we are, where we came from, and why we are in the predicament that we are in when it comes to these Hebrews. You can have, like I said, a Christian Indian and a Muslim Indian. They have an understanding, right? They don't, because they're working towards one goal. And that is them being a people. That is them being a nation. They don't have the only base they have. The only base is their nation. That's the only base, the base that they have that they go on. We have more than a base. We have an understanding of who we are, our history, and what we went through, and why we went through it, and why we going through what we're going through right now. Now, do you not agree with me that our base is a lot more solid than the nations? It's a whole lot more solid. Why is it that we cannot concentrate or capitalize on our faith base? Although we may have a disagreement, you're going to have it. You're going to have those disagreements. Shalom, Sister Pixie. Ooh, be careful like that, sister. Now, digging all that snow now. I mean, shucks. I know what you mean on that one now. That Chicago snow, that stuff can be wet and heavy. Just be careful out there now. This is what I'm looking at, brothers. We have a base, a solid faith base. That's what we have. And we got all of us globally. But we capitalizing on something that is not going to bring us together. He's going to do what he's going to do. For those he know that are misled, that's proceeding in ignorance, okay. He knows exactly how to repair that. He knows exactly how to do that. But going by and trying to, let's call it, to destroy your brother, because the scripture clearly states, but to keep on admonishing him as a brother. You don't, your fleshly brother, you do not go there and kill. And if you do, you know there's something wrong with you mentally. People get shocked when they hear that a brother or a sister kill one another. They know that it is absolutely not normal. We will have to start looking at these things just like that, brothers and sisters, when it's all over said and done. But we getting highly emotional about something that the Most High said when it's all over said and done. He said he's going to correct it. He's going to put his rules and regulations in our hearts. We all go have that understanding eventually. That's where we are standing at right now. What do we do? Oh, that was a lot of stuff that, I heard some stuff that I don't agree with. I mean, what? When people start talking about um, um, things that can lead to demonic worship. Oh yeah, you got to have. It is a must that you have discernment. You must have discernment. Now, this person here claiming to be Hebrew, and you notice that there's some he's dibbling and dabbling in some stuff that we don't get down with. Oh yeah, you're supposed to call that person out because now he went way off base. Matter of fact, he's not on base. He's not on base. In order for you to protect, and when I say protect, you may be protecting a brother who may believe that Joseph is the father of Yahusha. You may be protecting him at the same time, but you know it's going. He has a base that you share. He has a base that you and he share. It's a must that you save him. But when you talking about demonic worship and things, oh no, yeah, you're supposed to stand up there and yell. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what we all supposed to do. But it's the base. It's that base that we should have. That's that base we should have and maintain amongst our brothers and sisters. Trust and believe, brothers. Let's just say you may be a brother or let's just say your belief is just equal across the board. And I know very well, a lot of us, some of us, some Hebrews say, look here, that person made me so mad. I went back to my old ways. I started cursing and this and everything. It happens, brothers. You're gonna have something that's still in the work to becoming that loyal servant of the Most High. There's some things that they're working on. And so my point of saying it is, you know for a fact you will not just throw somebody like that to the dirt. Matter of fact, you will understand that person's position. We, in this time of the end, we need to be more understanding, brothers. And I'm not saying just keep on accepting what we may call untruths. Truthfully, I don't see a scripture to support Joseph is the father. What I'm hearing from people, but how is this possible? How is that possible? How is that possible? I like, you can sit up here and say all that stuff, talking about how is this possible? How is that possible? Until you come with scriptures. And more importantly, and this is what I tell the individuals, because I mean, some people came with me some heat. That don't make sense. Why did the Most High have to use this here or that there? When the Most High said he's looking for those to worship him in spirit and truth. And brothers and sisters, when you get into a conversation that there's no scriptures, that's how you hit them. Have you ever asked the Most High to teach you? Quit reasoning outside of faith. What you may think is the normal way things are being done is not the way the Most High thinks. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If the Most High said he's going, Gabriel spoke with Mary. You will conceive by means of Holy Spirit. I'm done with the case. It's like it's clear, it's present, it's not dangerous. It's your truth has been made. Period. But you have individuals who are not asking the Most High to teach them. We can't, I mean, it's just truthfully, brothers, it's a waste of time. No, I ain't gonna say it's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. It is absolutely a waste of energy I saw a podcast yesterday talking about those 12 tribe charts. So we can go down that too. Um, Now, what was your take on that, then, Sister Pixie Dust? What was your take? Taste. I must be hungry. What was your take on it? Because, hmm, you know what's, brothers and sisters, what I'm looking at, I'm seeing this stuff as a distraction. Because I'm gonna tell you the reason why. We, it's our base. You still give me your take on it, but I'm gonna talk about this. The base. It's the base that we have. Oh, all right, you didn't watch. Okay, all right. It's the base that I'm looking at. All right, you just bits and pieces. I understand. I did the same thing, but I mean, if it's not, scripturally speaking, that's what kind of, because I'm looking at what on that, Sister Pixie does. I'm looking at the fact that you're gonna have to be you're gonna have to be the least of all people. You got to be. That's one of the signs that the Most High left on His people, saying, "Hey, this is how you're gonna recognize my people. This is how you're gonna recognize them." Now, how they coming back with Haiti and Jamaica, talking about they're this here and that there. See, and they don't have a scripture to stand on when it comes to that. I read the scripture that brother.
Wow. Okay.
I see that. I see exactly why Brother Galen sit there, those scriptures. And see, um, this is not to keep up disagreement or discord in and amongst Israel. Some things you know, if you want to talk about it, so be it. And at time it may take the Most High strength of this exodus to happen in order for them to believe. Who is that, Thomas? Yes, Sister Pixie, I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. Who is that, Thomas? Thomas always doubted. What did the Most High do? What did Yahushua do? He literally had to go there and show him physically, that I am that one. He told him, said, stop doubting. He showed his hands. Sister Linda Cross, let me tell you something on that, sister. That right there is going to be the key. That is the key when it's all over said and done. It's going to be, you're going to have to ask the Most High to teach you. You're going to have to. And you're going to have to have a want for that to happen. You're going to have a want. And he will literally teach you if you wants to be taught. He does not take pleasure in destruction, Israel. And he keeps saying, hey, ask me, and I will teach you. But when you got a mindset, when people have a mindset of what they're going to believe in, and you showed them from the scriptures, like I said, you got other pressing issues. Is it going to take the Most High, the Exodus, to prove our point? You know, is that what it's going to take? If that's what it's going to take in order for you to believe, so be it. But the point is that we all have a base. We all have a base that we can't agree on. I heard one brother call some brothers that believed in Yahushua. And he said, "All y'all messianic Hebrews." It's a lot, Israel. And all of this stuff here is to cause a division, to rock or shake your faith. And if you feel that you're that strong, or your understanding is that strong, that you can think that you will put your brother down. And let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that you may be correct. It's that mindset that you're going to be walking up against the Most High. When I tell you this, brothers, the Most High loves Israel. He loves Israel. And Israel may have a different way of understanding things. The Most High knows deep inside. He judges the heart and the kidneys. That's one thing we're going to have to understand. Shalom, Brother Dave. I'm glad you made it in, brother. He judges the heart and the kidneys. He looks deep. We can't look that deep. Look that deep. We can't even look, period. But the Most High can. And he makes judgment calls. He has that hand to make that judgment call. What do? Our judgment calls, it turns into mockery. It turns into trying to humiliate a person. Truthfully, when it's all over said and done. We have that history of doing that. I've seen brothers and sisters on their YouTube channels. And the person could be wrong. But when you nip out, destroy a person's faith, oh, brothers, now this is the thing I'm saying to you, brothers. And that person may have a misunderstanding. But when you break that person so hard now, do you really want that judgment of the Most High to come down on you? The Most High is telling us from the get-go, deal with your brothers according to knowledge. Yeah, you know that he's misled, or he has a misunderstanding on this particular scripture. You proceed in love, and you always admonish him as a brother. Always. Now, the thing I don't like, and it may be true, brothers. I'm gonna say this, and it may be true about some of the people, because we have that history of people working with agencies. I don't like calling a brother agent or an informant, but we have that history. We have that history. So I don't too much knock brothers for saying, "Oh, he's an agent. He working for the man. He just he's infiltrated Hebrews." And so that's the thing. It happens. Me personally, I don't like calling them out. Not calling them out, but if they're exposed, they're exposed. And that's what it is. I mean, you put out a warning. And I'm not knocking it. I did it. I did one-on-one, brother, and I knew he was a scammer. I literally sat down and talked to this brother. And I'm like, bruh, you need to let that nonsense ride. Quit sitting here and shooting out a sad story. Although it's true, do move on about your business. Don't be asking these brothers for soliciting money because of this sad story. That's just my take on it. You know? But it's a warning that I put out before the brothers. I'm like, no, this situation is not genuine. You know, I'm not gonna sit there and tell a person, get over your spouse's death. I'm not gonna say that. But I'm not gonna at the same time let you go in and continue to mislead the people on a sad story. I'm not. But this is the thing, brothers. This awakening is the only one that has been stressful for us. We have so many bows aimed at us, even within. And then these are not all agents. They just misguided individuals that has awakened to some false truths. And then you got some individuals that has awakened for absolute judgment. But we got to figure out how can we still move forward. Everything that we have tried to put in place for us is always never shot down. How many deep-seated organizations that you know of, Israel, is on that continent doing business for us? How many? Please tell me one. I'm gonna go on and talk about something else, but tell me, are there just one that's over there working for all of you Hebrews, that's trying to set up ourselves as a nation? Come on. Tell me one that's one major out there that's doing things like that. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I do not see it. Tell me one. Tell me one. I'm standing here waiting because it's difficult to get that up and running. This is that birth of a nation. It's like the world is holding this woman back from giving birth. All hands are on this woman's womb to hold that child back from being born. All the nations have their hands on her not to give birth because they know things will be changing by the birth of this nation. That's what's happening. This is a struggle, Israel, for all of us, and yet it's still we continue. We recognize the trampling of our people, and that emotion is it's becoming deeper and deeper. That's what's happening. There's a lot more, and there's some anger that goes right along with it. There's some anger that goes right along with this movement. That's what we got going on. And we, as a people, those that really want this to happen, those are the ones that's taking blows. Those are the ones that's taking blows. And you may have other brothers and sisters that will talk down to you for what you're trying to do. It's going to happen. Nothing is going to be easy. But the moment they say they're a part of this or they're a part of that, they want your support. They want your support. See, now, but do you understand the division that we bring in amongst ourselves? That's the division we bring in amongst ourselves. It's that line of thinking. When I tell you, Yahushua had to go through the same thing. He had to go through the same thing with his disciples. They was worried about who's the greatest among them. That was the thing that they was worried about. But truthfully, they got affected by what? Their atmosphere. Their atmosphere in Jerusalem was based upon that. The scribes and the Pharisees, they want everybody to recognize who they was. They wanted the glory of man. That's all they was about. So that residue resonated upon the residents of Jerusalem. The same thing is happening right now. This is not no individual movement. This is not no individual movement, Israel. All other nations and all other nations, all of them have their foot rooted in something where the world just cannot overlook them. Israel, we're the only ones. And matter of fact, they're responsible for breaking us up. They're the ones who are responsible for breaking us up. And they're the ones who are responsible for holding us down. Now, what are we going to do? Are we going to continue to, and then at the same time, we holding ourselves down due to this unnecessary nonsense of jealousy? When are we going to sit down and say, look here, let's rethink this here? We know for a fact if we do this, the Most High is going to bless us. And now but now it would appear that it sounds like it's impossible to do, but it's absolutely possible. And every nation they all have one thing in common, that they have their foot rooted in this world. It's agriculture. Once they get the agriculture up and running, that's when they start making a living for their nation. Then when they start doing that, now that's when they get smart. Then they want to buy minerals. Then they want to process these minerals. Then they want to get into the tech world.
So go to.
Yeah, because they go like, Mike, you're talking too much again. But that's what they do. They sing and they know. Those brothers and sisters in Africa, they have their own farms. They just going in and they manipulating them. That's what's happening. Why is it that we can't sit down, have a civil conversation? It seems like it will seem like that we wants to be known. Now, I'm the head nigga in charge. I'm the one the Most High is talking to. It seems like we trying to have that type of mentality. And you're not the only one the Most High is not going to is talking to. He said he's going to choose his governors to govern Israel. And whoever he chooses, brothers and sisters, this is one position that you cannot sit up here and think you're going to bogart yourself into. It's not. You're not. You mess around, catch your elbow. That's the whole thing you may get out of it. You may catch your elbow. You're not going to bogart yourself on the Most High's people. If you're not fit to take the lead, trust and believe. The Most High know exactly how to knock you down or ask you to take a seat. If you're not thinking about Israel, brothers, take your seat. If this is about you, you need to take your seat. Period. If you're not going to think about these brothers and sisters, and I'm talking about, when I say these brothers and sisters, I'm talking about one out here who's living just downright flaky, shaky, and sinful. Then not you who should go into the village looking for those people. He's looking for people that are sick, who know they want to change. They tired of the suffering. They tired of the trampling down of them. They tired. But we can't see these things because we so busy wrapped up in our own little tiny world. When are we going to sit down, brothers and sisters? This is what we're trying to do. This is what we're going to do. We got to get our foot somewhere on that continent, and we're going to have to start. These roots are going to have to go deep. It's going to have to go deep. The Most High has already told you you're on the rise. You will be taking the lead. Brothers, all we got to do is plant the seed. That's all we have to do. Is take the lead. Plant a seed The Most High he's going to seize everything else. It's going to be Israel. It's going to take the lead. Shalom, Sister Monica. That's it. That's it. He told you. All right. Can a nation be born in one day? Brothers, let's not cut the Most High hands off. You know, when we read it, we start to have some self-doubt. I don't believe that. I believe it can happen in a matter, one day, in an hour, 30 seconds. Israel, let me say this here. You brothers very well know what how black people, let's just take a negative, Israel. We're going to take a negative. And then at the same time, that negative will be a superpower. Let's just take this. Let's go back a few years. It was known and it's written down in our history that African American spend so many trillions of dollars, $1.2 trillion a year. Shalom, Brother Ricky. I'm glad you made it in today, brother. The African Americans spend $1.2 trillion a year. Okay, we got that. The negative was this, that we did not spend that within ourselves. That was the negative. But we kept on being the least of all people. But we spent 1.2 trillion yearly. What do Israel do? Before I say Israel, let me go back. What do African Americans do for the world? African Americans made the world go round. That's what they did. They made the world go round. They had so many billions of dollars going into the hair industry. They had so many billions of dollars going through the tech industry. This is us, brothers. Shalom, Brother AJ. We did all this, Israel. We did all of the, before I say Israel, African Americans. We did these things. We were spending money on alcohol, food. We were the biggest spend. We were the biggest spenders. We were. Now, and it kept us beneath everybody else, because the people that we was giving the money to was the one who's keeping us in captivity. So we paid to stay in captivity with a false sense of security. When it was all over said and done, it was a false sense of security. So now, this is how we almost did it. We almost did it, but there was some trickery about that too. Do you brothers and sisters remember the year of return? And it was Ghana that put that out. Matter of fact, when they said truthfully, what was said, that it wasn't really meant for African Americans, but we showed up, and that money showed out. We showed up, and the money that we brought over there showed out. To Nigeria, say, "Oh, you don't need a visa. You get a visa once you get here." All other countries start falling into it because they seen that those billions of dollars come in, and I'm hold on to that. Hold on to that. Ghana. Then you start getting brothers that start opening up travel agencies. It was to Africa. Oh yeah, Africa was that money making machine. And guess who was showing up? And guess who was making these trips back and forth to Africa? African Americans. Oh, brothers, follow me on this, because you're gonna understand something that happened when we start diverting some money towards Africa, the world woke up. Hey, wait a minute. The world said this. Well, look here. These Negroes are going to a place that we don't want them, and they're taking their money over there. How can we divert them from going? It was too late. It was too late. Brothers and sisters, just think about the year of return. The year of return, we did all of that. Although they had some lies mixed into it, but we showed up and then money showed out. That's what it did. And then they started, oh yes, they had to bring in some disruption. Oh, people were spending this and they lost the land. They come over here doing this. The business went flop. They had to bring that negative in, brothers and sisters. And we fed into the negative. We fed into it. We almost pulled it off Israel, but we got caught up in our own feelings. We got caught up in our own feelings. Now it got to be more blatant. Shalom, Sister Kathy. We got to be more blatant about our movement because now the world knows exactly what we got going on. And we have to be blatant and faithful to what needs to be done. You took your monies and you attributed to the world. Brothers and sisters, now this is time you're going to have to start attributing that money to that continent we call home. Yeah, you're going to have some Negroes. Oh, we not from Africa. So, yeah, okay. We are well past that. Well, why y'all talking about when the Most High said you separate my land? That's the only place on this earth that has been separated by the nations. It's Africa. Every nation on this planet has some type of say-so over our brothers on that continent. That's the reason why the Most High can say they came in and separated my land and moved my people far away from their land. Yes, they do let Sister Linda cross. The thing about it is, the whole purpose of this lie is for us to redo our line of thinking. Now, we're not going to keep on giving money to the nation. We need to give that money to only one nation. And that we're going here and plant roots where you can say, all right, we got this started. Now, brothers and sisters can say, hey, I want to buy into it. They very well know. They very well know when you start bringing in brothers and sisters and what, $100 here or there, they know that $100 can flip and double and triple when it's messing with some Hebrews. They know this. This time of trampling, if we want to get out of this trampling, and if you're saying that the Most High has turned his attention to his people, Israel, it's time for you to stand up and do these things. Have these conversations. Have the conversations. You know, this is it. This is it, brothers. We let's not get caught up in translation. Because the Most High said he's going to heal his people. And yet we may have different understandings on this and that. But trust and believe. First and foremost, in order for you to really understand, it's brothers, it's a difficult thing to tell a person that they're Hebrew. It's a difficult thing. You can sit there and have all the evidence in the world, but when that person who barely has food to eat, can barely find a job. That's not going to hold a lot of weight with him. It's not. Unless he just really got his heart and mind trained on something totally different. But for the vast majority of people, that's a difficult thing to take in. And it ain't going to necessarily be difficult. It's just something that they just not, interested in. But now, let me say this to you, though, brothers. But what if that person's lot in life is, let's just say, 10% different, where he do have food to eat and he can find him a decent job? That may help out a lot. And that's the thing. Now I'm gonna go back to us, but when it comes to that 12 tribes chart, and I mean, we are now, the thing about we go, one thing, we go always be civil and cordial towards one another. We're not here to browbeat. We're not here to talk about no one. Because Ricky, that's my brother. That brother helped me out a great deal when I was in Tanzania, and still do. Sent the London across. No, we good. No, it ain't the fact that anyone sent anything out of the way, but I just want to make sure that we have that atmosphere, that when it's all over said and done, Sister London is still your sister, Brother Ricky still your brother, Sister Monica, all of us. Because now we not gonna go down that how Satan come in and think he gonna stir us up. No, he ain't gonna stir us up. That's one thing he's not gonna do. We're on a whole different level. But the 12 tribes chart, from my understanding and from my looking at the scriptures, Judah was the only one that went into slavery, not the 12, not even the 10. Because the 10 came out of slavery from the Assyrians, but they never traveled back to Jerusalem. And so when Yahushua was on speaking with the Judeans, he reiterated how some of us go into prison, into captivity, slavery, whatever situation may be. And that's taken from Genesis 15, when the Most High was talking to Abraham about his descendants. And so Judah, from a scriptural standpoint, is the only one that went into slavery to the four corners of the earth. That's the reason why I said that Judah is like the only international tribe, because we are all over the earth, the four corners of the earth. Now, I could be wrong but from a scriptural standpoint, it appears that Judah is that one that went all about throughout the earth. There's another scripture out there that supports that. Hey, but at the same time, and I think this is one of my gripes, it's that least of all people. And the Most High said that we was going to be that no matter where we was at on this planet. Puerto Rico, finding Negroes, they're the least of all people. Haiti, and it's majority of them on that island, they're the least of all people, but governed by Gentiles. Jamaica, least of all people, governed by Chinese and Gentiles. South America has a whopping 80% of blacks there, still least of all people. That's the thing I'm looking at, brothers. Now you go to Spain and you see some Spaniards. They may have a hairline like black people or whatever. It does not make them Negroes. It does not. I mean, is it going to take the Most High to separate His people, put them back on their continent, in order for us to believe that? Oh, no, you can just look at scripture and something. Like I said, brothers, we all have different takes on our understanding of scripture, but it's the fact that we should remain brothers and sisters at the end of the day. Now that was just my take on the 12 tribes chart, and like I don't see how that fits in with the biblical take on Judah and things of that nature, and how these people gravitated all these different places of earth and on this planet Earth, and then you got this one group of Spanish people is this here, and some of the other people nearby. I mean, truthfully, they look more white than anything. But then we say it's not about color. I differ on that, because these people are of dark skin. These people that's being hated, trampled upon, they're dark-skinned people. I mean, you may have some light skin in there every now and then. I wouldn't even call it albino light, but hey. But they still up under that judgment too. But I'm just looking at, when I look at this 12 tribes chart. Now, I looked at this chart. How is it that Africa is nowhere in that chart? That's the only thing that, I ain't gonna say that's the only thing. That's one of the things that just got my attention. And this is where Israel is supposed to be from. And are we to believe that all of us, all 12, left that continent and dispersed worldwide? I'm gonna say this also. If all 12 of us was dispersed on this on this earth, we should not be least of all people. If we all over this earth, we should not be least of all people. Now, I could be wrong now. Yeah. We should not be least of all people if we will be worldwide. And I'm in that chart, hey, saying these particular people are of Ephraim. These particular people are such and such. I mean, that's a lot of people there. And at the same time, the scriptures clearly states that we'll be a remnant among the nation. We will be a small people, small in numbers amongst the nation. So the nation cannot be bigger and claim Israel. And what you have this little minority group of people who's taking the bulk of all the elbows. Those are the ones who's getting treated badly. So now, it may not be scripturally based, but I'm just using my line of thought. But from a scriptural standpoint, it was Judah. That's just me now, brothers. I mean, there's some other scriptures out there that needs to be examined. So be it. We look at it as adults. We have conversations on it. But the fact that Africa and that 12 tribes chart. Hey, shalom, brother Frank. Shalom. It does not have not one of those tribes or on that list has Africa in it. Can somebody please explain that? And this is where we supposedly came from. Explain that for me. Not one. I mean, We telling all these other people that they Israel. And um hmm, I mean, it's just me. I don't subscribe to it. I mean, I just need if there, like I said, if there's other scripture that points to us leaving, and I'm not talking. I know it's called common sense. You just think about it. They left out and they went there and they did this and they did that. And just because we may see some pyramids and things of that nature, that don't mean that we built those pyramids. Hermetic, they can travel just like, you know, anyone else. But it seems like with the list, you know, they see some Indians with some fringes on. Oh, and they may have a one or two custom or whatever with the Israel. I can't go with that. Anybody can put fringes on. The Romans had fringes on. They had it on. Okay. The 12 tribes chart is the creation of the One West Camp back in the 80s. Okay. That's Brother Darrell Williams. Um, okay. But brothers, I mean, we have this and we have these concerns. But more importantly, we need to be having our concerns about planting that seed. The Most High has given us the promise of what's going to happen. We're going to grow. I mean, what are we going to do? Sit there and say, "How we go?" I'm waiting on the Most High. The Most High is telling you, you're gonna have to put some work in. You're gonna have to put some work in. The only work right now, brothers and sisters, we putting in complaints, dissension. You know, we're gonna have to put that in. We go. I don't know if will this ever happen where brothers sit down one day and say, "Look here, I'm gonna ask my people to donate for this cause so that we can get our foot in Africa as a nation." This is what it takes for these people to recognize strength, and it's sad. It's sad, but it takes money for people to recognize who you are. If you want somebody to fear me, I ain't gonna say if you want somebody to fear you, but we know for a fact if you got money, you got fear that goes right along. You got fear that goes right along with it. It may be a stand away fear because they fear that you can have somebody, you know, you can get an army together, but they're going to respect you. They will respect you. This is the reason why I said we need to plant and get rooted back on our continent. We got to do it. If you believing in the Most High, that He is wait a minute, I gave them access to another. Hold on, brother Darrell. I gave them. Read between the lines. Oh, yeah, I tell you, brother. It would appear, brother William, that it may not get done. I mean, when we came up with the idea of asking brothers, elders to form a not organization, but form a what's the word can I use? Hold on for a moment. Hold on, I'm gonna address that now. Watch. Hey, Brother Williams, my brother just asked me this question. He said, "What's stopping black people?" I'm saying it again, brother. A global banking system. A global black banking system to generate our own wealth. And this is to you, Sister Pixie, and anyone. Now, that's the question that we've been asking ourselves for the longest. And this is what this whole discussion should be about. This is what it should be about. Now, my little brother, we grew up together. I call him my brother because we grew up together. And he's not that awakened Hebrew. He's just a person, just a young black man. But he's asking that same question, and to which we all ask that question. We all ask that same question: why we can't get it together as black people? Why? Now we recognizing we're just not black. We come to recognize, oh, we more than black. The world labeled us black. We did not label ourselves black. The world did. We just took it and moved on with it. That's all we did. That's all we did. But now we stand here to this very day. Wait a minute. But I mean, why is it? We've been asking that question. We've been asking that question before we was awakened. Now we awake and we recognize, hey, there's a lot of us. Yeah, we became a byword, but look at Sister Pixie. We took that byword. A lot of us took the bywords. That byword, they put an emphasis on it. But this is the thing. The byword on that, sister, is this. You got little white kids. They view it as a privilege to be called the N-word. Mexicans, they use it and they use it in their conversation, and ain't nothing but Mexicans. I'm serious. So that byword is out there. It's all over. But the question, why is it that we cannot pull ourselves together? We have everything. Now we keep on saying that we're Yah's people. We keep yelling that. To a vast majority of people, we believe that. If we believe that, you're gonna know exactly what we need to do in order to get ourselves in a position to take the lead. You already know. We already know what they do not want us to do. They have these sayings out here. The CIA, and you can have you go in there, to get their citizenship, and they tell them we have a divided soul for slavery. So they sound like a song. We have a divided soul for slavery. Ain't that something? I don't agree with it. No, it's a divided soul for slavery. There have been traitors, terrors among us since we were herded on the sheep in captivity. That is true too. We have a lot of stuff. We do have a lot of we have some negative things within us. But it's gonna come to a time where we're gonna have to, like, all right, we have this here. We gotta press on. We're gonna have to press on. If we saying that we are trusting in the Most High, we're gonna have to trust The Most High, all right, if there's a person that needs to be exposed, trust and believe, he's going to be exposed. He or she will be exposed. If they're a traitor, or whatever situation may, trust and believe it's going to happen. Because the Most High has a time, a day and time, down to the second, to how he's going to move. He's not going to wait. He's not going to wait. If there's something that need to be removed, trust and believe it's going to be removed. And it may be shocking to some of us, but the Most High knows exactly what's going on in and out of Israel. He knows this. But we saying what we believe. Brothers, if you take, if we take, in a matter of one day, we know what the world went out there and said. People, oh, brother Daryl, man, I need to send you a link, brother. Now, there's a third time you done brought points in. You're right. We're the most monitored people. The most. And I'm not going to even ask you why, because everybody know why we are the most monitored people. Now, the only thing about that, Sister Pixie Dust, is this. Too many sellouts. But what the world has did, they grouped us all together because all black folks are not kin folks. And that's one thing we come to realize too. And so when you have that, you're going to have a mixture of people whose mindset is not going to be where your mindset is at. They're not going to have that curse upon them, because that curse is what recognizes who Israel is. So they're not going to something they're not going to recognize. And it is all eyes on us. But then at the same time, we know what we got on us, brothers. We know what we have on us. And even though they have all of these eyes, they have all of these monitors on us, alrighty, there's a time when you got to, brother, this is just me. It's time to move forward. No matter how many eyes, how many monitors they have on us. This is one time we're gonna have to trust the Most High. We're gonna have to start planting seeds. And we're gonna have to go deep. If we don't, we're gonna be finding ourselves living in more fear than we can't even imagine. Hold on. Our blood has been mixed by our oppressors purposely, so that our house as a person would be confused and not be able to know who and whose we are. And that's what's happening right now, right as we speak. Right as we speak. But at the same time, Sister Kathy, the Most High did say he has to cleanse our blood. And we do see the confusion. I mean, what? Let's talk about the 12. We're talking about the 12 tribes chart. That's one of them. And whatever happened in slavery. But that's just one of them. It's a bowl of confusion. But at the same time, even though we have that confusion, it's like we got to continue to move forward. Yeah, the reason why I said it, because you just imagine if you got a car and the motor is knocking, but you got to get to that city. You know for a fact you got to get to that city. It don't make sense for you to pull over and say, well, the motor is knocking. You already know the motor is shot. You might as well keep on riding until you get as close to the city as possible. and let that motor within itself stop running. You keep riding it. You keep riding it until it just quits. And that's what we should be doing, brothers. We know we have all of this stuff. We got the opposers. We have the inside traders or tares. We have the people that's watching us. Brothers, this is what we're supposed to do. We just sit there like a knot on a log. No, we gonna have to press on and leave the rest in the Most High's hand. No. What she's talking about is this: our blood was mixed purposely. You know, it was during slavery. Yeah, slavery. Yeah, yeah. And so, I mean, you're having this, and then it brings in, and it brought in confusion. You're talking about.
You talk about the U.S. Unless your family comes from here, you are first and second generation. Anything past second generation in the U.S., your blood is tainted.
Well, I mean, this
because the U.S. is a melting pot of all culture.
I mean, to a degree now. It's only to a degree. I mean, that melting pot, you know, that's only to a degree. But here,
from slavery times, you mix. Everybody's mixed. Especially in the South.
I mean, you're gonna have a mixture of your blood.
True.
I mean, and that's going to be it. But you're gonna.
But that's still, look at it with the mixture. It's still, your DNA is still gonna be 90%.
Oh yeah. I mean, when it comes to that, yeah, it's you're gonna have a higher percentage. Yeah. I mean, I got that. Yeah, I got that. And you said, what's the name? Sister said we haven't been monitored because, well, Sister Kathy, they late to the party. They are late to the party when it comes to. Oh, wait a minute. This Negro is rising. All right. They had them taken out, did they not? All of them. But now you have too many. You have way too many black messiahs. Not only in the United States, in Africa. What's that name? The president of Burkina Faso. Hey, they near about throwing out palm branches for that brother.
What happened with the Million Man March? What happened with it?
I don't know about the Million Man March. That was something with Islam. I mean, but still, I mean, I got that. It's really when it's all over said and done. And I'm gonna just use this word. Black people are seeing things totally different. Whether they're awakened or not, they can be Christian, whatever, they're seeing something totally different about ourselves. You know. What it is.
It's a spiritual awakening.
Exactly. It is a spiritual awakening because the Most High said he was going to wake his people up. And it's happening. The thing about with this awakening, we can't wake up in fear. Yes, we're being monitored. We are. We're being monitored. But now with that monitoring, you Israel, everything that's in this country, matter of fact, that's in this world, it got our hands in it. It has our hands in it. They can sit here and say, "Oh, you uneducated." No, you're not uneducated. I seen some biochemistry, young black boys go out there and play with different drugs and mix it with different things. They didn't go to school for that. They know exactly how much of this here need to be put into that there. They didn't go to school for that. But the ones that calling themselves educated, they go to school, they learn it. And matter of fact, they're the biggest drug dealers. They know what chemicals you can use to mix in to have this effect on a person. We're some intelligent people, Israel. My encouragement is this. Let's use our intelligence for this Let's use our intelligence for the betterment of a nation that is rising, that's going to rise. And even though the scripture said this is going to be the end result of Israel, brothers and sisters, that does not give us the authority to just sit back and do nothing. It does not give us that authority. The Most High has already given us a warning. He's given us a playbook. He has given us a playbook. Let's open the book up and use it. Open the book. Let's use it for us. If you're talking about, the Most High said he's going to heal his people. Do you believe that, Israel? Do you believe that he's going to heal his people? Because trust and believe. There's a lot of healing that needs to be. There is a lot of healing. I talked to my auntie yesterday. And she didn't know I was back in the United States. And she been to Africa like 1 or 2 times, but she wants to go back. And but she started asking some things because my auntie, she's a nurse. She's been a nurse for. And I would say my auntie. I'm gonna say it this way: that she is my aunt, but we the same age. Well, she's we be the same age for like a week, maybe 2, and then she go a year early ahead of me. But regardless, she's still my aunt. I mean, that's the way it happened down in the southern states. But anyway, and so I was telling her how our people are just been trampled upon, and she was like, "What you mean?" And I went into it. Now, my auntie, like I said, she's a nurse. She knows all about that medicine. She said, "No, the medicine they have here for HIV is only two ingredients." I said, "Why do Africa has 5?" 5? She said, "Mike, no, they did 5 back in the 80s. That is in the United States." And she know about the thing that's the portion of it that's psychotic in the medicine. Why is they still got that in Africa? We're trampled people. Brothers, when I say that we need to pull ourselves together and start planting our foot in Africa, it's just not for agriculture only. Our brothers and sisters, not just there, all over this, they need us. We need each other when it's all over said and done. And we need to start putting things in place. Because right now, it's the nation that's that's putting their foot on our neck. They have us on the ground and our hand up. They got they got their foot on our neck and our hand is up because we're looking for them to give us something. And when they do give us something, it's tainted. When are we going to put our hands down and grab the ankle of them and sling them up off your neck, Israel? When are we going to do that? When are we going to do that? Because it needs to be done. It needs to be done. Can you be trusted, Israel, to have a part in helping your brothers, finding better medicines to assist our brothers? Can you be trusted to do that? Because that's what's needed. This is what we need to be doing. Right now, we can speak about these things because a lot of us, I mean, let's just say that we have our health. You have your life. Brothers, when I was there, and I said, these are the youngest ones I met with HIV. Those kids, or those twin girls, they should be around like, those 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, they should be about a year now. They should be about a year old now. When I met the twins, they were 7 months old. with HIV, both of them. Both of them. You'll be surprised how many of these kids are growing up with HIV. You'll be surprised. This is a problem, Israel. This is the issue that we have right now. But we all right, there you go. This brother right here. Hold on. Hold on, Chaz, for a moment. This brother right here, Frank McGorry, he did work. He worked with some governors. He was invited by, different presidents to speak and everything. This brother, he lived in the United States for 20 years. Frank McGorry. He lived here for 20 years in the United States and doing business, doing work here. Now, but he's from Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. Now, this is what we are talking about. Now, he can tell you what needs to happen. Hey, we will reclaim leadership by personal and collective strategies. That's what I'm talking about. This is the way we should be thinking, Israel. This is the thing. This is the way we should be thinking. This is what we need. We are a rich people. We're rich. Yes, we are. Collectively, we are rich. But all it takes is one day, 1 hour to change everything. Or be less than an hour. But that's all it takes. That's all it takes, Israel. That's it. Me and this brother, I've been talking back to Frank for like a year. But when I went there and I met Frank, and Frank heard my my strategies and things of that nature, he's like, "No, man, we got to do business. We got to do business." And then me and Frank, we end up working with this other young brother. His name is James. And so sat down with Jane. I was talking. I said, "Brother," and Jane was talking about how he's a painter, and Jane was saying that how he does a lot of roofs, and it, and I had to reason with this brother because I knew that he can have a bigger picture than what he's used to thinking about. Brothers and sisters, I said, "James, how many roofs can you do in a day?" He said, "I can do at least 3 roofs in a day and make nice money." Now, I said, last year, did you make the same amount of money you made this year? He said, "No." I said, "Go back 5 years ago." "No." I said, "Go back 10. No." I said, "This is the most money you ever made in your life going forward?" He said, "Yes." And so I said to him, I said, "Brother, do not leave all of your eggs in one basket. When you start making money, hold on to some of your money. Don't just spend it because you're making money now. Use that money to make you more money so you don't have to work as hard. You got to be smart. You got to work very smart." I said, you get into it, you got making all this type of money, buy you some land, build you some property on it, rent the property out. Then you go find yourself not working so hard, but you go start to think a lot better. You're working smart. And then you take that money that you may get off of your property and you invest it in something else. All you doing is you continually growing and you being extremely smart on how you use your money. The world don't need to know that you have all this money. You don't need to go ahead and buy a big truck. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, brother. You're not here to impress the world. And with that, you want to talk to somebody had his attention. He was like, "Brother," and it was me, him, and Brother Frank. He was blown. He was absolutely blown by it. But that's the mindset of a lot of our brothers and sisters. They get one thing, that's all they're going to do. Some of them will take it further, but for the vast majority of them, no. But this is what we need, brothers. This is what we need. We need to come together when it's all over, said and done. We need to come together and sit down as a people and see how can we all invest to get the root, the seed on that continent, because the other nation, they coming in as like wolves and they taking things. And I'm going to show you some, brothers and sisters. Indians, Arabs, they're having babies there. They having babies. Now, it may not sound like much to you, but I'm gonna show you how that chain of effects happen. That baby is a Tanzanian. But now, this is the thing. That child is a Tanzanian. Although being Arab or Indian, that child is a Tanzanian. That child has the opportunity to go buy land. What do you think those parents do? That child, they'll buy land and they put it in that baby's name. They put that in that baby's name. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist for us to understand this. It does not. They're leaving our brothers, having our brothers still stuck in slavery, captivity. They still the least of all people. That's what we are in. I only know of one African American that has a child there, and he did the same thing. He said, "No, I'm gonna play their game," and that's what he did. He played his game. He has a daughter that's like a year old. He went and bought some land, put it in his baby's name. He said, "Brother, and I'm going to continue to do it." He said, "Because these people took me to a whole different level." He's seeing what they're doing. He's telling me, "Brother Mike, these people are coming over here trying to buy land over in Arusha, and you know what Arusha is about. This is nothing but farmland." And he said, "They coming in by the dozens." He said, "Truthfully, it's pissing me off." What are we going to do? Are we going to continue to let them come on in, and then we going to be the first ones complaining, "Oh man, these Gentiles"? So, nah, you're getting fair warning right now that we need to do something. We need to do something. I'm serious. Brother Frank, he knows everything as to. I just talked to a sister, Sister Waters, and they was talking about how brothers and sisters would go to Tanzania and their business go belly up and things of that nature. But anyway, they had to pay like $4,000 to register their business. You heard me right, Frank. They was paying $4,000 to get their business registered in Dar es Salaam. If you ask Brother Frank how much it costs to get your business registered, he go tell you $400. $400. He don't go in there slinging all that nonsense because he's looking at the bigger picture. And Frank is the one who goes down there and do it. He goes down there and registered the business. $400, not no $4,000. Yeah. He's a well-trusted brother. Very, very trustworthy brother. To get your license in agriculture, export, I think it's like $250 USD. Brothers and sisters, we have brothers on the continent and sisters that have shown they are very trustworthy. They see the big picture. They know what's happening. Frank knows exactly what's happening in Tanzania. He's born there. He knows what's going on. So yes, you're gonna have to have that brother working with you and for you, because it's going to help him and the people out. They're not going to see what Frank is seeing. They're not going to see what I'm seeing. And the majority of the people are just like Thomas, one of the disciples. They got to see literal work. And some of you brothers and sisters got to see the same thing in order for you to believe. You got to see something in order for you to believe, in order for you to trust. This is what I need to do this here. But we keep on hearing about the same issues of what's going on there. The same issues. But we yet and still we're not making progress. We got to start doing something, brothers and sisters. I'm serious. This here going back and forth talking about these kids running around playing with HIV. Came into the world that way. What are we going to keep on doing? Singing a sad story? Or are we going to start to rewrite these stories? Or are we going to come up with cures? And I say come up with cures. We have that strength. We can do these things. But in order for us to do that, it's going to take funds to do these things. And I ain't gonna say the sad thing about it. The thing about it is this, brothers. If we don't, you keep on, everything will keep on as normal. You will have those people giving our brothers and sisters some type of medicine that's mixed in with something else. I just found out this sister, and she said that she had to take this particular medicine for malaria so that the baby head is not born small. So that the baby head is not born small. Now check this out though. That medicine that's supposed to ward off malaria, they still get malaria. That's the thing. I'm like, what's the whole purpose of this medicine? They say it's for malaria. It sounds like it's a lie. It appears that this medicine is not for malaria, because the residents, they still get malaria. Yeah, it may be for the heads of the babies, because there are some babies out there with some very small heads. They do have that. You look it up, you'll see it. My brothers, what are we going to do? We gonna keep on singing this sad story, looking at these little sad pictures? What are we going to do? We're big enough. We may be a remnant, Israel. We may be a remnant. But we have a punch. We have a punch. Now, sister, hold on, sister Kathy. That's true. Now, Frank can tell you, shoes. Sis, Frank can go in deep on that now. And that's the thing. They have done that. But I'm gonna tell you this. They just a spokesperson. I mean, what's they call it? The spokesperson. That's who they are. They taking the blows. In the event that something pop off, Sister Kathy, the people, the first one, they go hit them first. And it's set up by design. It is absolutely set up by design. And I want you brothers and sisters to understand this. For when it comes to these nations, they pretty much on the outskirts of all of Africa. You don't find these, you don't find a whole lot of Muslim inland. You don't. Arabs, you don't find them so much in the inland part. They're gonna be on the outskirts. They're gonna be close to the ocean. In the event they got to break camp, they gone. They're gone. This is what they have set up for themselves. They have allowed yes, they're on the. Oh yes, they're on the coast, sister. They are on the coast. They got their boats ready. They ain't got to worry about time. If they can't get to the airport, hop in that boat and they keep it moving. They already got the exit plan, Sister Pixie. They got the exit plan. What is it that they're feeling? I mean, they just prepare just in case. Just in case. And every last one of you brothers and sisters know that that type of sickness was planted in Africa. It was planted. It was absolutely planted. But we, truthfully, I'm serious, brothers and sisters, when it's all over said and done, we gonna need to set up something and sit down and work these things out. Because I'm tired of, now I ain't gonna say I'm tired, but it's becoming frustrating to see what we need to do. Put it together and do it. Brothers and sisters are sick and dying over there. And I'm talking about our brothers and sisters. The world is the one who's coming in and using it to the T. Whatever fetish they got, they using it. They capitalizing on it. And they got our people in a slumber as if they cannot come out of it. That's what we have. Are we going to take the time out to say, hey, let's put this together? The next pandemic is going to boomerang. You know, sister, I think that's already in motion, sister. I do. I think that is already in the motion. But while they doing that, we need to be working with other brothers and sisters who have put herbs together. Herbs. I know that there is a cure. And I talked to the individual out of the Congo. But why is it that they can't push that out to the masses of people? Who is holding them back to doing that? We've seen what they did to Dr. Sebi. We've seen what they did to Dr. Sebi. Who is this Black Messiah? They had to take him out. He had to be taken out. And you're right. They are watching us. They are monitoring us. But it's too many of us now. And then at the same time, their hands are busy. They busy. They don't know whether they coming or going. And they're scared. Let's take this opportunity, Israel, brothers, to put some things together and start executing. It's going to start with the agriculture. That's what it's going to start with. We're gonna have to feed our people and heal our people at the same time. And the more they seeing brothers and sisters working together, that's when the strength starts. If you want to talk about being a black Messiah, do that. Let's do that. I'm serious. Do it that way. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters. This is what it's going to take. Oh yes, and you know, and the sad thing about it is this, Sister Kathy. It's the Gentiles that own that pandemic. They literally own that germ. They own it. They so arrogant with it, Sister Kathy. If you all ever seen this, I'm quite sure you've seen this movie, Mission Impossible. It's the older one. Tom, what's that boy's name? Not Tom Selleck. What's that boy's name? I forgot his name. But anyway, it was Mission Impossible, and it was all about this particular disease. And they was talking about, hey, all we got to do is drop it in this in this particular city, and we're going to make billions because they got the antidote. Tom Cruise, that's him. Tom Cruise, and it's the one that I forgot what it was. Yeah, it was like maybe, you know what? I think it was the very first one. It's that very first one. If you go in there and you see it, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. Because he was trying to get his hands on that disease. Because the black girl, she injected it in her and everything so that she can get away and all that, where they wanted to keep her so they can get, they can get the antidote and everything. So they got the antidote. But anyway, they so arrogant that they're putting it on the films. Now, back in the days, hello, can y'all hear me now? Let me see. Wait a minute. Sister Kathy, can you hear me? Okay, I don't know what happened. It's in like I don't know what happened. Okay. I mean, I seen Brother Ricky said we can't hear you. And things, okay. All righty. But but this is what we're up against. We like this thing here, this stuff is planned out. This stuff is planned out. And we truthfully we got to start making some decisions. What are we going to do? Are we going to continue to it's kind of strange. My phone was just sitting over there, and all of a sudden it just went on mute by itself. Okay, whatever. All righty. But the thing about it is this, brothers and sisters, I mean, you're right, Sister Monica. These people their mentality is that Frankenstein type of like mentality. They will push out a disease. They don't want to get it. They want to get money off that disease. And for you, I mean, I ain't gonna say for you, for them to think like that is absolutely, it's just, it's demonic. It is absolutely demonic to work that against the people because you want something that they have. That's just like Jezebel told her husband, "You want that field?" And they went out there and he went and killed his brother so he can get that vineyard. They doing the same thing. They want something from you and they rather kill you to get it. And when they kill, and the sad thing about it, they make money off of it. They make money off of it. You may have the AIDS medicine and HIV medicine in Africa. Trust and believe, they're making money off of it. They making money off of it, and they caused that epidemic. They caused it, and they're getting paid off of it. I mean, what are we going to do? Are we going to continue to just sit there and sit here and keep on talking about things, or are we going to start doing something about it? We got to start doing something about it. They're trying to wrap the game up, brothers. When I say the game, they're trying to wrap the businesses up in them when they can own majority of the land. It is a known fact that Abraham went to Africa and started buying up land. It is a known fact that there's an Indian out there who's making a claim that he's going to be the largest farmer in Tanzania. What are we going to do? Are we just going to sit back? We got to start doing something, brothers. And if the Most High is going to use one person, so be it. But it's best we work as a nation. We got to think as a nation. We got to move as a nation. We have all of this promises from the Most High, and yet it's still, how are we moving? Are we walking in non-belief? Or are we just going to stick to our little own family? See, things don't hit hard until it hits home, your own individual homes. That's when it becomes real. That's when it becomes real. Is it going to take HIV to get inside your house in order for you to believe how serious it is? Is it going to take any type of disease to help you to appreciate how real it is? That's it. What is it going to take for us to sit down and just have a conversation? Hey, we can do this, we can do that. Let's do this here. But we know for a fact, to heal us physically, we're going to have to come from that ground. We're going to have to come from that ground. It's going to come from that ground. If you think anything outside of that, all right, okay. And that's the thing. I mean, if it's the Most High's will that we move in that way, so be it. But the thing about it is, we're separated. I mean, going in, you can sit up and say, oh, we got to dibble and dabble with them a little bit. No, that's not always the case. People take that. Ooh, let me say something, sister, on that one now. Sister Kathy, people also there need to take back their government. That's true. But that's near about an impossible task. Near about. I say near about. Because then they start causing trouble for those locals. Then they got to control the media. Because they don't want the media to see all of this here. Now, after the damage is done, hey, go ahead and sell it. But when you start putting yourself as a nation, when I say nation, brothers, I'm serious. These brothers, they're gonna need to see us. They're gonna need to see us. They may not understand what we're trying to do, because truthfully, no, the vast majority of locals, they gonna come against you. Not necessarily come against you, but they're gonna be looking to get something out of you. You gotta be wise. You have to be shrewd in how you're dealing with your brothers. And in time, they're going to see exactly what you've been doing. But the world do not want you to push that out. They do not want you to do that, because you're gonna mess with their game. But we're gonna have to come up, and we're gonna have to bump heads. That's going to happen off the top. We're going to bump heads because they're trying to keep their head there in Africa. That's what they're trying to do. They love that sadistic overlord situation that they push out. Hold on, brother. Most running Africa and it, America leave it due to the. Hold on, brother. Hold on. Living in Africa with children, understanding we need to go to the wilderness. Most Africans won't running water, electricity, internet. And I've seen a lot, I've seen a lot of African American leave due to, let me tell you something, brother, brother Ricky. Bruh, you want to, that's a very, I can get into that now. I can. But brother, we all had, but that's the danger with that, brother Ricky, is when it's the reason why Africa is not here. When I say here, whatever the United States has, Africa does not have it. But it took the Africans, the transatlantic slave trade came here and they built up this place. That's what happened. Now, they seen what we did here in the United States, and what we did globally, truthfully, when it's all over said and done. But we, as a people, we need to maintain patience. What? Running the water, I understand it, but trust and believe, you can get water. I would say to anybody, have your own pump, have your own well dug with a pump. There's a lot of things that we claim that we can't live without. That's not true. That's not true. Brother Ricky, you lived in Tanzania. You seen electricity going in and out and everything. Just talking to them. Hold on. All right, yeah, but now, I know Brother Frank going to speak on some things because he's there. Shalom, Sister Teresa. Oh yes, sister, let me tell you something, Teresa. If it takes bricks, so be it. But when it's all over said and done, Sister Teresa, we're gonna have to come up with our own source of income, because eventually we're going to be the ones that's going to outspend the world. When it's all over said and done, it's going to happen. Their money is going to be put into slavery up under our watch. And I know they don't like to hear that, but it's a known fact. It's going to happen. The Most High said it's going to happen. It's where we're on the rise. We're going to have to maintain that, believe that, and move with that. You know, when it's, I mean, we've been low for a long time. We've been low. And now it's that mindset. It's just like what Sister Kathy said. They are in the fear of a black Messiah. We have a whole lot of black Messiahs. A lot of them. I understand what you're saying, brother Ricky. I know we're not built like that. But it would appear, Shalom, Sister Patricia, it would appear that, I mean, brother, it's a beautiful thing. I'm going to say it this way, Brother Ricky. We did what we did in the United States. We did. And it's a reason why Africa is not built up the way it should be. Or what we may say should be. Because all of those pipes that they got ran to the homes where they have cooking gas and things of that nature. Let me tell you something, brother. Those pipes wear out. Those pipes been underground for over 100 years. Now the homes here in the United States, they starting to blow up. They are starting to blow up. You there one moment, the house just boom, go up in smoke. It blows up because those pipes are old. Now they're on a mad dash trying to change out these pipes. A mad dash to change these pipes out. That's the reason why I said, hey, I mean, it sounds easy to say, hey, you need to be patient. But I'd rather be patient than be sitting up in a house thinking you watching TV and everything and your house blow up because you got some old faulty gas pipes in the middle of the street that's backfiring on you. That's the thing. There's a lot now. There's a lot. We are intelligent people, brothers. There's a way we can do these things. And yes, I got you, Brother Ricky, and I know it's easy to say be patient. But I viewed it living in the village as a privilege. Yeah, electricity go out. I seen that electricity went out for a whole day into the night. Yeah, it had a brother looking like, it had me up there looking like patent leather. Shiny forehead and everything. Mosquitoes was just tearing me up. Yes, it was. But then I started figuring it out. Hey, I went on the internet and trying to figure out how can I make my own homemade remedy for to ward off mosquitoes. And kind of find out it say use vanilla extract with some water, and it worked. It worked. Everything is not always going to be bad for us, Israel. It's not. If you're going into the wilderness, now this is the thing. Now I'm not going to say that this is what's going to happen in the wilderness and things of that nature. I'm not going to say that, but we're not there, and I'm not, going to say that. But I will say this: it may not be easy for you. It may not be something that you may be used to. But I'm going to say this: be happy that you're there, because you can be laying stiff that you not even recognize when you're at, because death has to come to you. That's the thing. Oh no, let me tell you something, bro. That's the thing, brother. And see, now that right there needed to be said. But you know what, Brother Ricky? History is going to repeat itself. It's going to repeat itself. You're going to have individuals that go say, I want to go back to America. I had running water. I had this, I had that. Our forefathers did the same thing. They did the same thing. They wanted to go back to Egypt. Talking about they had good farmland and everything, but they didn't blend in that whip hitting them on the back. They didn't blend into captivity. They fooled themselves to believe that they had it good in Egypt. You're not going to make me believe that the United States is good. It's not good. It's not. And unfortunately, you're going to have some brothers and sisters that's going to believe that. They're going to start believing it hard in that wilderness. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, and some of them want to run back to their slave master. And when you're running back to your master, all you did was made the jealousy of the Most High heated upon you. That's all that's going to happen. Whether he let you go back or he deal with you right then and there. Set can either make you or break you. That's what it's going to do. It's going to make you or break you. But we will have to, brothers, we're going to have to really buckle down and say, hey, this is what we can do. This is what we, let's put this together. And we're going to have to execute it. We've seen the changes already. We've seen the changes. You're seeing France, the United States getting kicked out of all of West Africa. It's just like a tornado just came in and said, y'all got to get out. That's what it appears. And they're highly upset. It's like they don't have the energy to fight with them, because now you have this little pending, and this is the longest time I was seeing a world that's supposedly talking about a World War III. It seems like somebody just don't want to light that firecracker. That's what it may appear. I mean, appears to be. But they know that there's a losing mechanism that they're not even trying to give it an attention, because they've been used to fooling themselves that they're always on top. Brothers and sisters, this is not that time where they're on top. I seriously believe this is the time for us to really start executing what we need to do. And as a nation, hold on. You know what? But then I'm gonna say this, Brother Ricky. All right, we have children, and it's not easy. All praise to the Most High. My kids are down and loving it. And let me see, but when you start saying no to internet, no to electricity, it can get stressful. You know what, brother? You can say that to a grown person, and that's going to be an issue. But the thing about it is, we got to learn how to turn these issues on and off. That's what it's going to boil down to being, because what all Satan has done, he has gotten us used to some things. And then some of those things we got used to, he wants us to turn them into complaints. All he is trying to do, get us set up for failure for what our forefathers went through coming out of Egypt. The same thing is happening. The internet is to what? To be in the know. Pretty much. That's what it boils down to being. It's to be in the know. Now, it all depends on how we will have our mindset. It ain't like I took it away from my son from, he did something bad or whatever. But when I was moving, I packed up all his stuff, the games, the videos, all that stuff. My son haven't played a video game in over a year. In over a year. My son had an Xbox, 2 Xboxes. He had, let me see, how many game consoles? 1, 2, 3. I think like a total of 4 game controllers or whatever you want to call them, has a DJ system, laptop, all that stuff. My son don't talk about that no more. Now, when he was missing, he was, Dad, can I get my so and so? I said, man, no, you know, I'm not there now. We gotta wait till I get back. My son ain't said nothing about that. He got unused to it. See, it's the things, brothers and sisters, that we got ourselves used to. We may not start putting that stuff in its proper place, because it can be used against us. And that's what the devil has brought this stuff up to. The devil is preparing himself for his abyssing. So along with his abyssing, he put things in place so that some things that he may have came up with or whatever in his system, it can start working our nerves, that we start to complain against the Most High. Brother, this is a warning shot. This is just a warning. We need to put our minds in that. That's the thing. And it all depends on what you want to. Just like what Sister Pixie does said. Hey, she just wants peace of mind. And brothers and sisters, truthfully, I don't think it's going to be just all that like that difficult. If our brothers, our forefathers, you know, if our forefathers was walking through that wilderness and they was complaining about water, my thing is to recognize this. If you're going 30 days, 90 days without a lick of water, you're living up under the Most High's protection. Recognize that. Be thankful for that. Your clothes are not wearing out. Take notice of those small things. It's those small things that bring in a great deal of faith. That's one thing our forefathers did not look at. They did not take that. Some of them did not take that into consideration of how the Most High was guiding them. Their sandals never wore out, Israel. Read the scriptures, they never went out. If they did not have water for so many weeks or months or whatever, somebody watching over you, somebody is protecting you. And if you got to, and I said this some months ago, Israel, once we do go into the wilderness, and if we are in that predicament, don't go to these governors complaining. Don't go to them. You got us going over here, you so and so this. Nah, that's gonna be dangerous. We already seen what happened with complaints going up to Moses. The Most High said, no, they're not complaining against you, they're complaining against me. I don't care how you look at it, brothers and sisters. You may see this governor, but if you we go get in that wilderness and you start complaining, it ain't him you complaining against. You complaining against the Most High, and you will get dealt with him. Ain't nothing new up under the sun, Israel. Let's just put ourselves in a warning position. Look at the history. Read the history of our forefathers. All the stuff that they did. And we're going to have to recognize that we need to go in and we need to move in a different direction to what they moved in. That's what we need to do. And that's going forward. That's from now and going forward. That's what we'll have to do. In conclusion, brothers and sisters, let's keep our heads on a swivel. And I'm going to show you, brothers and sisters, something before I cut out. You all seen the conversation that Brother Ricky was having with Sister, was it Sister Pixie Dust and Sister Monica and Sister Linda Cross? I'm going to ask you, brothers and sisters, something. Brother Ricky, the conversation you were having with those sisters, did it leave you with a different mindset towards your sisters that you was going back and forth with? I mean, are you upset now? Are you angry at these sisters that they don't see what they don't see your understanding? And then that goes, that same question goes out to it was a sister, I think Sister Monica, you was talking about it too. Sister Pixie Dust and Sister Linda Cross. Because I know it didn't. I mean, I was reading everything that they was typing. I was reading it. And I did not see a hint of anger or whatever that brothers and sisters was putting out scriptures on both sides. It was putting out scriptures on both sides. And it appears that they still remain brothers and sisters. Because trust and believe, all the conversation would not be about no 12 tribes chart. It would not be. It's going to be, we're going to talk about some things that we know. It's just not everything is going to be a negative talk. The majority of our talk is going to be positive because we know what we need to do as a nation. Those are the things that we concentrate more so on. But it's a good thing that brothers and sisters can say, hey, this is just my understanding on this here and things of that nature. They have their scriptures. They're going to have it. And this is what we do. But it's that base, brothers and sisters. That's my encouragement. Hold on to that base. That base, that slab is your foundation. That foundation. You know who will continue to deal with your brothers according to knowledge. Always everything seasoned in love and respect. That's what we are admonished to do. And let's continue to do it that way. And brothers and sisters, on that note, keep your head on a swivel. You got a lot of stuff that's going on out there, brothers and sisters, but don't let it overtake you or terrify you. We know the end results of it. We know that we are abundant, and like was that Brother William said, we're being monitored. Sister Kathy said it too. This is where we stand. This is what's happening. You have never seen a group of people that has so much going against them, and yet and still we continue to fight. And I'm not talking about fighting amongst ourselves. We're not fighting amongst ourselves. We are fighting to become a nation. But the devil has came in and he, unscrew some things. But then you will always have those brothers and sisters that put everything back in its proper place. And that's going to be by means of the Most High's directions. And that's it. And that's how we move. And I sit there trying to tear no one down. And on that note, and I, brothers and sisters, stay in your word. Be encouraging. And pray for your brothers and sisters. We're going to need it. These days, they're not going to get better. Let's not even fool ourselves to believe that. They're not going to get better. We will find ourselves out there throwing blows and more elbows as this time goes on. Because the world is going to fight us a whole lot more. Because now they need that slave base. But they're losing the base. That's the thing. They're losing. Brothers and sisters, you all keep yourselves keep your head on a swivel. Be on the watch. Stay prayed up. And on that note, I will say to you, brothers and sisters, shalom.